Hey everyone! So for today's video, I want to show you how I engraved this pencil. It's just a regular pencil, and of course it is almost back to school, at least here in our area, and this is the one I made for my son last year, and I happened to see this today, and so I thought I would show you my process, and I hope you can also do something for your friends, family, and kids, and yeah, have fun doing it.
Yummy!
Okay, so first I'm gonna show you this laser pencil jig that I bought from Etsy. I imported this jig, and I used 2 millimeters basswood, a rectangle basswood, and then what I did was I used, of course, the line option from here in order to cut those lines. I'm not going to show you how I did that, but I will show you though the jig that I have after cutting the these pink lines right here. And for this one, I'm just going to show you how I placed my name on there. And also for this tutorial, I'm just going to use 2 pencils, so just 2 jigs right here. I put my son's name there, and also for the second one, I'm also just going to use old pencils. So if you can see, I if I just go over here to the right, I turned off the output for all the others, like for this rectangle, for the others, like these long rectangles here. I turned up the output for that because, like I said, we're not going to do it. I'm not going to show you how to do that right now. But for this color, and that is like bluish purple, um, we turned on the output for that because we want to engrave that name onto the pencil. And of course, we would use for, fill for engraving. And we're also going to turn on the air assist. And I will just leave show enabled for all the others because I just want to see exactly where my engraving would go. And also, like I said in my other tutorials as well, just know your laser. It is very important. So in my case, in my laser, when I am engraving something like a text, and it will be like red, right, like, how can I say it, like the right way. So like this, what I would do is for that to be engraved like that on my material, I would actually mirror that. And like I said, know your laser. That's how my laser works. It might not be the same for you, so always do a test run. By the way, I used Times New Roman for this, that font. I think the simpler the font, you can easily read the text, only because these names are gonna be so small when you look at it. Once you're done engraving in the pencil, it's gonna look so small. So having a simple font will look much better. You can read it a lot easier. And also for the size, like I said, it should be so small. So the width, which is from here, from right to left, it'll be 1 inch, 0.1489, and for its height, okay, 0.08. So very, very small. For our text, we mentioned that we're going to use fill, and also I use 70 millimeters per second for my speed and 85% power. And I tried other settings as well, and this speed and power really work great. So I'm sticking with that. And also, I was engraving an ornament earlier, so I have this rotary enabled, and don't forget to disable that so that it's not going to mess up with your engraving. In my case, with my laser, I don't need to mirror just the text, but I have to mirror everything. So I'm going to select all, and then I'm going to mirror that. There you go. So now it's here. And let's see how long it will take us to engrave this. Okay, so not long. Um, it's very quick. And yeah, I will show you the actual product. Okay, so here's now my laser jig, and as I was telling you earlier, this is the wood that I used. It's basswood, 2 millimeters in thickness, and also the size of this is 9.13 in width, so from here to there, and then the height from here down is 11.45. Like I said earlier, as I was showing you, all those really long rectangles, they're going to be cut, and so these are the actual jig where you're going to put all those pencils, so they come in really handy. And yeah, I also showed you that we are going to place our engraving. So this is like the example right here. So I put the name, if you noticed in the previous screen, I placed my text not really close to the edge of the rectangle, only because I don't want that too close, or over here it might end up over there. So you can place it wherever you want. You can put it really close there, or you can put it right there, or maybe in the middle or over here. It doesn't really matter, but I just want it right there. So that's why I positioned my text in light burn, a little far from, no, not too far, just a little bit far from the actual edge. So anyway, also I want to point out that this pencil, for example, it has its own logo. So what you can do is you find the opposite side of it, and that's where you're going to start engraving. So this one, since I am using an old pencil, I am just going to just move that right there. And as you can see, there are lines here for the edges, and you're not going to engrave on there. So you're just going to make sure that you are actually positioning that pencil where you want that engraving. So I think I am good with that. And also same thing here, and as you can notice, this pencil doesn't have the eraser anymore, so I'm just gonna put it right there. Oopsie. Oops, okay, that moved. Let me just fix that one. Okay, well, I think that's also a good way to, it's a good segue there, because I wanted also to show you how I make sure that my jig is properly aligned before I actually start framing it. So what I do is I will just drag actually that laser head. So for example, if I put my laser head right there, and I would follow that crosshair, that means that red light, I can just drag it, and as you can see, it's not aligned because over here it is not on the edge anymore. So I can just slightly move that and make sure that that is aligned right there. I think that's pretty good. And also the sides right here, I can just drag it, and yeah, I think I'm good with that. Focus. Make sure that your focus is correct. Always make use of this feature right here. And also what I want to show you is this very cool extension. I got this from a Facebook group for Xtool users, and this guy is selling, I forgot the name of the company, but this guy is selling these extension heads. They come in very handy when you want to just use that so that you don't have to keep taking off and putting back on those risers. So as you may have noticed, this laser head, you can only adjust it and move it up and down only too far. For this one right here, it's very cool, and you can use it so that, again, you don't have to keep fooling around with those risers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to frame it just to make sure that I am good with my alignment. So now I'm going to select just the actual guide, and that is the outer rectangle, and then I'm going to click frame. Okay, I think I'm good with the alignment. And again, like I said earlier, know your laser and how it is going to engrave. So in my case, I don't follow the crosshair. I'm just using that for framing. But when I start engraving, I would usually move that a little bit so that that laser head right here will just be right in the corner, the very tip. And so I know for sure that when it starts engraving, it will be where I want those texts to be. Okay, so I think it will take a few minutes, and I will show you the actual product. Okay, so here is the product, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be very transparent here. I messed up. So what happened was, this was the engraving I did last year, and I thought that's really perfect. But this time I did this. I mean, the engraving is still fine. It looks great. It's deep, and you can still read it. The only problem is that when I placed my pencils, they, how can I say it? I did not place them properly. So in the jig, and that's why it's closer here. And also, I did this like a mistake. Some was actually engraved, or other engraving actually was on the actual jig. And so yeah, very important that you always run or you always do a test run, just to make sure, because like I said, you only have very narrow area where you can engrave this. um, as you can see, it's very near the edges, so always do a test run. And also another thing, if you can see, it's a little dirty. I actually did not check this pencil earlier. It's a little sticky, and this one right here you could hardly see because I believe my these are old pencils, so I believe they put something here, glue maybe or something. They're very sticky, and it affected the quality of the engraving. This one is a lot stickier than the other one right here. So like I said, make sure that your pencils are clean, make sure they're new, and also always do a test run. But all in all, the settings are great. It's deep, it's clean engraving, you can see that. But just the positioning, just make sure that you get it right before you start engraving the or putting like 20 pencils in the jig. So just do one and use old pencils, please. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.